Hi everyone, on this video I'm going to share with you how to break down Chaturanga on a way that you can take the different poses that make up the Chaturanga. So Chaturanga is not only going through downward dog to upward facing dog, but instead is moving into a plank, into a low plank, and then into the choice of back bend. So we are going to start working on it. So you start building up the foundations. Something that is really important about this practice is understanding that if you're feeling a pinch on your shoulders or on your wrists, it's time to back off a bit. And it's really, really important to do a little bit of the warm-ups before you get into wake up straight from bed and then start practicing your push-ups, okay? So let's get started. Let's lay down on the ground, closing the eyes and come into this place of presence. Just acknowledging where you are, the space around you. And then from here, interlace the fingers, reach your arms open over the head, extend your legs, big stretch, and then from there, bring your knees in towards you. Give yourself a squeeze. Place the soles of the feet on the ground under the knees. From here, we're taking a couple of active bridges. So from here, you take your tail, you start lifting your hips off the ground, and then you roll back down. Breathing in to lift the hips, exhaling to lower, inhaling to lift and lower, inhaling to lift. And when you lift, start imagining that you are squeezing your cheekbones towards one another, lowering down. So this way you are activating your glutes. And lower. 3 more to go. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in and out. Last one, breathing in, hold in there. Keep sending your pubic bone upwards, pressing through your feet, feeling the heat building up in the area of your glutes and back of the legs, and then exhaling to lower down. Open your arms into a T shape or cactus and drop the knees towards one side. Turn the head towards the same side as your knees. And then from there, start rotating with the opposite elbow, bringing it, the arm, bring it over your head. So you go down over the head and then you open. Again, down over the head and opening. Good. Come to the center. Drop now the knees towards the other side, the left side. The right arm comes over the head. Inhaling, and as you exhale, opening up. Again, arm goes down, over the head, opening up. And one more. And exhaling to open. Right, bring the knees into the center. Hug yourself. Let's rock up and down into a seated position. 3 times until we come into a seated. On your seated, sit onto your heels. So to do the practice, is really important to understand this engagement of the core that comes from the top of your thighs, the front of your core, then the back, and your glutes. Okay, so it's really important understanding this. Now, I don't want you just to be squeezing your belly in. I want you to think about creating this wrap around this area. Okay, so bring one hand onto your belly, the other onto your sacrum. And then from there, tilt your pelvis backwards and forwards. So you will feel big arch on your back, then you will feel the opposite. And now find the middle ground in there. So your tailbone is pointing down, your pubic bone is lifting up slightly. Okay. So keeping the pelvis the way it is, extend the arms over the right in front of you, in line with the shoulders. Turn the palms of the hands to the front. Take an inhalation in here. And as you exhale, bend the elbows and bring your elbows towards you. And when they hit your ribs, stay in there. Inhaling, extending the arms. Exhaling to bend the elbows. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling, extending the arms. And to exhale, you bring the elbows in towards you. So a really important thing in here, hold that, is I think not keeping the elbows to the sides, but wrapping them in. Good. And exhaling, letting the arms go. So what you did was just a Chaturanga. So with the right hand, let's interlace the left wrist. Draw some circles with your wrist, one direction, the other. And the other hand. Other direction. Good. And let's now come into a four. All fours, taking a couple of cats and cows. So dropping the belly, looking forward as you inhale. Exhale, you round the spine. Bring the chin in towards you. And really become aware of that space between your shoulder blades. Breathing in, arching your lower back, looking forward. And then exhaling, shoulder blades away from one another, rounding the spine. Inhaling. And exhaling. Come to the center. And again, think about lifting your pubic bone in here, your lower abdomen. So you're not arching no more. And you are creating again, generating that cohesion in this area. Good. From here, take your toes. Keep spreading the fingers on your yoga mat. Shoulder blades away from one another. Take your toes. Hover the knees off the ground. Look forward. Keep pushing the floor away. Feeling the heat building up. 2 more breaths in here. 1 more breath. And as you exhale, bend the knees, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And as if it's your first downward facing dog, let's pedal through the feet. Shake the head, yes, as a noise. And check with the body. Okay, so you bend one knee generously and you send the opposite heel towards the ground and then the other way around. Okay, and then bend the knees, send your hips up and back, downward dog. 2 breaths more in here. Good, from here, walk your hands all the way towards the feet. So you will arrive to the back of yoga mat. Bend the knees. Let your neck be long in here. Coming into Uttanasana, falling forward. Hold opposite elbows. Sway side to side. Yes as a nose, gently. Good. And then slowly start coming to a lift. The chin is the last to lift. Inhaling, the arms come up. Exhale, you fold onto the legs. Inhale, you lift halfway, bring the hands onto the thighs. Look forward, torso parallel to the ground. Exhale, you fold. Walk the hands now to the front of the mat until you arrive to your downward facing dog. Inhaling, you move forward into a plank. Maybe shift your feet a little bit back so your shoulders are in line with the wrists. The hips are more in line too. The heels are sitting down. Good. And from there, knees to the ground. Bend the elbows with control slowly and tuck the toes and lower all the way down. Inhaling into a cobra, 1 of 3. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling, lift the head and the chest, cobra. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling. And exhaling, pushing back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths on your downward facing dog. Breathing in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. One more like that. Nice. And now look between your hands and walk to the front of the mat, arriving into a folding forward. Inhale, you rise halfway. Exhale, you fold and bow. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands next to the heart. Let's take 2 alphas and rotation. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, come all the way back up, lift your arms up. Inhaling. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Let's add up, breathing in. The arms lift up, the gaze lifts. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, touching the ground, stepping back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, breathing in. Exhaling, right knee to the right elbow. Send the leg back, inhaling. Exhaling, rounding the spine, bring the knee in towards your nose. Send the leg back. Inhaling, knee to opposite elbow. Exhale, bring him to the center. Inhale, step now the right foot to between the hands. Back knee to the ground. Lifting to the low lounge. From here, bend through the front knee. Extend the arms right in front of you. Arms in line with the shoulders. Turn the palms of the hands to the front of the mat. Inhaling in here. Exhaling, bending the elbows, elbows in. Inhaling. Extending the arms. Exhaling to fold. And bend the elbows. Inhaling, extending the arms. Exhaling, touching the ground. Stepping back, downward dog. Come forward into your plank. Find the plank, send the heels back and down, crown of the head forward. Knees to the ground, bend the elbows lower down. Inhaling into 1 cobra. Exhale to lower. Tuck the toes, come all the way, downward facing dog. Root the right foot, the left leg lifts up, inhaling. Exhaling, left knee to the left elbow. Inhaling, sending the leg back. Exhaling, knee to the nose. Send the leg back. Knee under and across to the opposite elbow. Send the leg back. Step now the left foot to the left thumb. Back knee to the ground. Low lounge. Extend the arms right in front of you. Right in line. Turn the palms of the hands. Actually, before we move on, bring one hand onto your belly, the other onto your sacrum. And again, send the tailbone back, lift the pubic bone as if you are zipping your trousers. Now extend the arms in front of you, palms forward, breathing in. Exhaling, bringing the elbows in. Inhaling to extend the arms. Exhaling, bending the elbows. Inhaling. Exhaling. Hands come to the ground. Step back. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths on your downward facing dog. One more breath. Look between the hands and walk to the front of the mat. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling, rising halfway. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. Arms lift, inhaling. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Let's do the right all the time, starting with the left leg. Inhaling. Exhaling to fold and bow. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, touch the ground, step back. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up, inhaling. Left knee to the left elbow. Send the leg back. Knee to noise. Send the leg back. Left knee under and across towards the right. Send the leg back. Step now the left foot to the left thumb. Back knee to the ground. Again, feel that hugging sensation before you move, before you extend the arms. Inhaling in here. Exhaling, bending the elbows. Inhaling. And exhaling to bend. Inhaling, extending the arms. Exhale, touch the ground. And downward facing dog. Come forward into a plank. Listen up from here. Hold your plank. Knees to the ground. Now bend the elbows. Only go halfway this time. Inhaling into upward facing dog. So come to the top of your feet. Lift the knees and the hips off the ground. Extend the arms looking forward. Push the floor away with the hands and also with the top of the feet. Exhaling, knees to the ground. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, inhaling. Exhaling, right knee to right elbow. Inhaling, the leg goes back. Right knee to the nose. Inhaling, the leg goes back. Knee goes under and across. Inhaling. Exhaling, stepping the foot through. Back knee to the ground. Extend the arms with the inhalation. Exhaling to bend. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Hands to the ground. Step back. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. One more breath. And exhale, bring the knees to the ground. Come to a seated. Right, so I'm going to show you first, and then we will do it together, okay? So for the first one, I'm going to use the knees on the ground, and I'm going to use the block so I know where I have to stop as I go, as I lower down. So the block is going to go where the middle of my chest is going to fall. Hands, wrists under the shoulders. Now my knees are a little bit behind my hips because I need space to move my torso forward, okay? So as I inhale, I bring the torso forward. Exhaling, I bend the elbows. I keep the elbows in, looking forward, and then I lower down and I push up. Again, bending the elbows, pushing up. Bending the elbows. And when I push up, I really feel the shoulder blades away from one another. Okay, so wrap can even be a book. Place it at the top of your yoga mat, center. Hands on each side. Knees to the ground. Inhaling, moving the torso forward. Exhale, bending the elbows. Inhaling, pushing the floor away. Exhaling, bending the elbows. Inhaling, pushing the floor away. Exhaling, bending the elbows. Inhaling, pushing away. Exhaling, toes together. Take a child's pose. Catch your breath in there. Right. And you can keep practicing this variation as long as you want. I still do it from time to time. So it's a great variation to help you with the form, to help you keeping your shoulders protected, to help you building up the core strength that you need for the Chaturanga, which is extremely challenging, and it takes months to get it. Okay, so I'm going to remove now the block, and I'm going to do the same thing but without the block. So wrists, shoulders in line, bending the elbows, and then pushing. 3 more of these. And pushing. 1 more. And pushing the floor away. Right, so for the next one, I'm going to add lifting the knees off the ground. And again, go slow into these, okay? You don't have to do all these variations for today, okay? So from here, I'm bending the elbows, tucking the toes, lifting the knees off the ground, sending my torso forward. Good. And then knees to the ground, and I push back, okay? 2 more like this. Let's get together. Okay. Other important thing, really use the tip of the fingers against the mat and look at the eyes of your elbows, wrap it in, okay? So they are more or less in line. I'm going to show it with the other side. They are more and less pointing through your thumb, okay? Good. From here, take an inhalation, exhaling, bending the elbows. Tuck the toes, send your hips up and push up. Downward dog. Knees to the ground. 1 more like this. Inhaling in here. Exhaling here. Inhaling. Exhaling, bending the elbows. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. Push back up. Downward dog. Knees to the ground. Catch the breath. At least I need. Inhaling. Exhaling, bending the elbows. Send the torso forward, lift up. Push up. Downward dog. And knees to the ground. Take a child's pose in here, catching your breath. All right, so I'm going to go through the whole way of how the Chaturanga works, but please work in the foundations before you move on, okay? So let's say I start on the plank. On my plank, I bend my elbows. Inhaling, I flip to the top of my toes, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. I'll show again. Inhaling, coming forward into the plank. Exhaling, bending the elbows. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. And then knees to the ground. And you can pause the video in here and work on these drills. And then you come back to it to do the relaxation. I'm going to move on. So, so then you have the relaxation bit too. Okay? So come to lay down on your back when you've done with the drills. Close your eyes. And from here, place 1 book or 1 block on each side of the yoga mat. Open your arms wide and let your knees drop towards the right side. Turn the head towards the right side too. Let go now of that engagement of the core. Bring now the knees to the center. Drop them to the other side. Turn the head. Bring the knees into the center. Sole of the feet together. Let your knees drop to the side. Place the pillows or the books or the blocks under to support. Hands next to the body or on the belly. Let's just take a couple of breaths in here. Allowing the body to easen up. Allowing the body to restore. So this part in here is as important as the practice of the drills. Okay? So really important. Before you get on with your life, please do the relaxation bit. Then from here, with your hands, bring your knees in towards one another. Knees in towards you. Give yourself a hug. Sway side to side, feeling the sacrum against the ground. And then extend the legs right in front of you. Again, feel the breath now moving freely at the front of the body. And together, let's take a breath in for 3, 2, and 1. Exhaling for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Inhaling for 3, 2, and 1. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1 more. One more like this. Breathing in. Starting from the belly for 3, 2, and 1. Exhaling 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to your natural breathing. Start wriggling your toes and your fingers. Arms reach over the head. Point the toes away from you. Knees come in towards you. Give yourself that, again, a hug. Roll yourself to one side. Coming into a seated. So before you move on, close the eyes. One hand on belly, one hand on heart. Taking a breath in. And exhaling, we close the practice. So thanks so much for practicing with me. I hope the drills help. Get in touch if you have any questions or send your own video back to me. And I'll send you a couple of tips. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.